Good morning. Welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show. Radio to open the heart, heal the soul, and awaken the consciousness. Wow, it is rainy. Do you think it's going to rain?
Heavy rain showers pretty much all day today, so just be careful out there. Bring those speed sound, folks. I hope everyone gets off to school and to work safely. Like my friend Natasha, who just texted me. She says traffic's horrible. I'm like, yeah, I've been watching it all morning, so thank you for the update.
Woohoo!
She's out in the Issaquah area, so hi to everybody out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed coming here this morning, I was like, whoa. And I also, those people waiting for the buses, be careful because cars going by are like splashing.
Yeah.
Like they'd never do that on purpose, would they?
Oh, no.
No, but sometimes you can't help it when you're driving a car. So just kind of, just a little thought for you.
Yeah.
People that want to stay dry, unless you're wearing your total rubber rain suit.
Your full-on head-to-toe rain gear with a little visor to keep it.
That's right, with little wipers.
It's got to breathe, though. You got to be able to breathe in that thing.
Yeah, there's got to be little holes in it somewhere. Otherwise, it's bad news. Anyway, I love rain boots. I hope everybody's got their little rain boots on, especially little kids. They have the cutest little rain boots. And, I don't know if I should admit this on air, but I have yellow rain boots, too.
Well, who doesn't?
That
should be part of the old wardrobe,
That's
the old
right.
active wardrobe,
That's
I should say.
Little yellow duck rain boots, for grown-up women. That's how it goes. Anyway.
I think it brings back the youth.
Well, it reminds me of the onesies. By the way, I saw that there was a onesie being sold the other day that looks like it's for men, and it looks like a sweatshirt.
So a mansie or
a mansie, yeah,
a mansie
onesie. A mansie onesie.
So it's for a male specific?
For men, well,
why?
It's a sweatshirt and a pair of sweats. I mean, it looks like a sweatshirt with a pair of sweats.
Interesting.
And you just, it's like you put it on and you just zip it up. You could probably find it, the Manzi onesie. And it's hilarious because it's like, I don't mean to say you need to be a lazy dresser.
It's available on Amazon. The men's novelty one-piece pajama.
That's it.
I think I'm in.
But it looks like, it doesn't look like pajamas, it looks like sweats and
I see what you're saying. So they basically took a sweatshirt and combined it with some sweatpants.
That's right. And then it's got cool zippers. I don't know.
It has a zipper all the way down to where it needs to be.
I do not know why I'm talking this up today.
I don't either, but it's great. We're letting our listeners know, and they're aware of the situation.
That's right.
Birthdays are always around the corner for someone, especially your male friends.
Well, and then we have this joke about, what happens when you go home. A lot of people are like, I instantly put my pajamas on. I had a client ask me that the other day. Like, when you go home, Loretta, what happens? She goes, I instantly put my pajamas on.
Yeah.
And sometimes my evening appointments, people show up in their pajamas and their yoga clothes. And I have to tell you, that's fine. Yeah, really.
It's whatever makes you feel comfortable.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm agree.
Yep.
In agreement.
And then there's dress-up times, too. So anyway, enough about Manzi onesies.
Fashion today.
And just a little shout-out to my friend Linda Kidby, because she knows my joke about the onesie. But anyway, now you'll all wonder.
Real fast about the onesie, though. A few years ago, my son's mom bought me a onesie, and it was a shark onesie. Unfortunately, it was too small because I'm 6'1", so it was just a little bit too short for me, which was great because
did it have like a shark head?
It had a hoodie type thing, but it had a giant shark fin on the back, which was great, and it had little shark feet. Super cool, right? I know you love it. If you saw it on me, I had to really kind of like make it fit, but. Yeah,
well, for those of you just in for laughing, and I hope you're just going to stay tuned in because we are going to have a great show. They're having onesie parties now where people have to wear onesies, and they, never mind. It's kind of a joke.
There is a onesie party. They're making them.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Are you going to go? Are you going to go?
Maybe I should. Are you going to wear your shark onesie?
I don't have it. I told you I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I had to return it. It didn't fit me.
Yeah, but you could get the Manzi onesie. And,
but
it's not as much
fun.
fun.
The same.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Well, there's lots of them out there, so if you want to stay warm and snugly dry underneath your rain suit today.
I'm going to have to get a custom onesie there. Custom onesie.
Yeah, custom Manzi onesie.
Manzi onesie.
I think we've beat that one to death. Anyway,
so. Okay.
Welcome to the Loretta Brown Show. We're just having a little bit of fun this morning because it is dark and rainy out there. I want you to be awake. I want you to be alert. I want you to, love yourself a little bit more. I am the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area, going into 23 years in business. And this Saturday, I have a Reiki 1 class. Now, if you've ever been interested in Reiki, you're interested in subtle energy, you're interested in chakras, and you're interested in what you can do to actually help change not only your life, but the world from an energetic point of view, you might want to come to the class. I do have room in the class. Classes are held at Reiki Oasis, located in Bellevue. You can sign up at schedule.reikioasis.com. And you can also contact me through email is probably the best way because my schedule's pretty heavy the next couple of days. But you can send an email to info@reikioasis.com for more information. This class is for absolute beginners, and I have a belief that absolutely everybody on the planet should go through at least Reiki 1 training to connect you to the subtle energies, the higher realms, and to what I call are your unlimited abilities. So Reiki 1 class this coming Saturday, 12:30 to 5 p.m. I also have a class each month called the Temple of the Divine Feminine. Woo, and it is for women only. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And it is usually held the third Saturday of each month. It will be January 20th this month from 12:30 to 4:30. This is a fantastic class. We talk about all kinds of girly women's stuff as well as ancient esoteric mysteries and some of the mysteries for women only. So sign up at schedule.reikioasis.com. You also can look forward to the Crystal Bowl Healing Concert Sunday evening, January 28th at 7:30 at Bala Yoga in Kirkland. I do these concerts every couple of months. They are very powerful, very healing, because I bring along not only my crystal bowls, but the beings of light and angels that work through the sound vibrations. And many of you may know that as well as a Reiki master, I'm also a vibrational healer, and I work with color and sound, as well as meditation and mantra and chanting and lots of wonderful things like that. So do come to the Crystal Bowl Healing Concert Sunday, January 28th, 7:30 in the evening. You can wear your yoga clothes or your onesie. Yes, you can. And lie around and have a great time. Go home very relaxed. So I want to thank you for listening to my show. I just put a welcome to my listeners and to those that help support the show through patreon.com. You do help me stay on the air. Airtime is not free. I wish I could say it was, but it's not. And, it's always my goal, my delight to bring you really great radio show, talk radio. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about astrology because if you didn't have an intense week, I don't know where you are on the planet. It's been pretty intense. This is one of the busiest astrological weeks we've had in a long time. And it's leading up to, by next Tuesday, I think it is, we have 6 planets in the sign of Capricorn.
So get out there and get your onesies now.
I wonder if they have a Capricorn onesie.
I bet.
Astrological zodiac onesies.
Awesome. That's so awesome. Don't
I'm
delay.
going to start a business.
Don't delay. The rush is on. Go now.
Yeah, it is. By the way, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to go into the astrology report, but I'm opening the lines today. We do have open mic day for those that would like a little talk with their guides and angels. Maybe you've got a question, you need an answer. The number at the radio station is 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569, and you can call anytime during the show. The lines are open. So this energy that started this week is going to carry over into next week, and the energies this week are important energies that speak to empowerment, issues of the heart, and for some of you, your ultimate destiny. And pay attention to what themes are coming up in your life. Are you having a health theme or love relationships or your business, maybe relationship with divine or God. These themes are going to become very important to you over the next 3 years with Saturn in Capricorn for 3-year periods of time. Now, this week at the beginning of the week, we had Mars meet Jupiter in the sky. And this is about our understanding of where we have power to magnify our blessings and where we don't. Did you run into any challenges this week? We can find power often in the surrender of what we cannot control. And that word surrender, my goodness, we could talk about that a long time. I sometimes tell people, if you could just stop gripping the steering wheel of your life quite so tightly, you might, create a space for divine to come in and actually help direct your life. So the quote-unquote obstacles we run into are not necessarily obstacles. They might just be challengers or redirection of your life. Often our will is getting in the way of the will of divine. Our plan can very easily get in the way of the divine plan. And that it's not always easy to take. I get that. So this week, you may find that there is a determination to make great things happen in your lives. You need to use this energy consciously and powerfully. Just because we are on a path of higher destiny and we feel we have a mission, which many of you listening are starseeds, you will be awakening to that mission if you haven't already. Be aware of the fact that we do things one step at a time. I've had several clients come in this week who are feeling frustrated that they're in a certain place in their life, and inside them is this desire, the strong desire to really help on the planet. And I'm here to tell you that you're not always asked to throw your life away in order to be able to fulfill your higher destiny. This is something where sometimes you are asked to really let things go, and sometimes you're just asked to kind of shift on the inside and open the space inside you that is required to bring this energy in and to begin to lay the foundation for your work. And this is a foundation structural time. So this energy that has been coming in is happening in the sign of Scorpio, which means getting to the truth of a matter, digging deep, and finding resources we did not know were there and using those resources to move our lives in a sense of destiny, direction, and where you can take action right now to better your circumstances. Now, for some, this will be a rebirth as we discover where we have power and where we don't. And collectively, there's been a lot of this Scorpio energy since Jupiter moved into Scorpio, and becoming aware of power dynamics and how they play out. And we've been seeing this in the news with, Harvey Weinstein and all of this women coming forward with many different people. Like I said, this is the truth. This is Scorpio now, and Jupiter expanding the light and making us look at things. So believe it or not, you're going to have further focus on the power dynamics out there, and it is going to go on all year. So ask yourself where you can empower yourself to change things. And when you change things for yourself, believe it or not, you do change things for the collective. We are in this together. On Tuesday, 2 days ago, some of you may have felt a little rattly in your nervous cage. We had a very powerful day. And we had the Sun, Venus, and Pluto meeting in the sky. Now, the Sun and Venus move close together, and so they do meet from time to time throughout the year. But what is special now is they are meeting along with Pluto, and these 3 planets will be speaking in harmony with that Jupiter in Mars. Now, this is a powerful cathartic moment in life for us in at least one area of life. So we're going to feel the pull, like I said, to change our circumstances and change ourselves, and it will act as a springboard towards that new life we want, because we're in the early stages of a new year. Expect to see in the next few days fated attractions as part of this energy. And a little word of caution, be a little on alert as to how you are showing up, because yes, you can feel these powerful fated attractions, but you can either give in to them or work with them, because as the week goes on, this energy of truth really kicks in. So be watching the news in the next few days. But also this energy of truth kicks in your life in the areas of love. There will be an urge to dive right in. And you may be better off to pace yourself a little, because the truth is that the bad that it entails will also show up right away. So own what you're feeling. Own your urges. Many will feel this strong sense of being guided in a direction. This often means that you're in the process of a lesson. What you do about it is up to you, but realize this invitation to dive into the emotions, and even clandestine experiences may be there. And it could all come out into the open before the week is even over, and especially into next week with this powerful truth energy. So pace yourself in the areas of the heart and use that awakening energy to your advantage. When you dive right in, the surprises may take you more by surprise than necessary. So let the energy lead you to the truth of what you feel and where you most desire meaningful change. This week, we also have the end of this Mercury retrograde season, and Mercury moves into the sign of Capricorn and meets Saturn in the sky before the week is out. This whole Mercury retrograde season was helping to kick up lessons of the last 3-year period of Saturn in Sagittarius energy. So some of you are going to be kind of throwing confetti around going, finally, I've made it through the last 3 years, and I've made it through the last 2 months, and it's coming to a close. And so whatever was nagging or didn't have a lot of direction will be finding resolution now as Mercury meets Saturn. And this will be the third time and the last time Mercury meets Saturn. It's a moment of truth and evaluation and reward, because Saturn leaves its rewards when it leaves a sign. That means that the sacrifices that Saturn has asked for you in the last 3 years, well, here comes the reward, the change. The sense that truly the best is yet to be. Perhaps what you've gone through in the way of pain or change is now going to show you its reward. That'd be great. Perhaps that failed relationship was really the best thing. And maybe now you're able to start to see it. Perhaps that job that spit you out is now being replaced by a more rewarding job with higher pay and more satisfaction. Perhaps it's time to move out or move in. And with this comes truth and depth of feeling, depth of experience, and at the same time, we know it is through the depth that the truth will come. The truth will set us free, and that leads us to the truth of yourself. I want to give a thank out to Nadia Shaw, Astrofabulous, for part of my astrology report today. And I want to remind you that we are opening the lines. If you'd like to call in and open mic, be on part of the show, if you got a question, you'd like to ask your angels, you'd like a little angel message, now is the time to dial 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. And you can get on the Loretta Brown Show. That's right. So we're having fun talking about astrology, and I hope that all of you have taken a little bit of time to think about your intentions for your life. And that doesn't have to be a big, heavy goal-setting thing. It can merely be a moment of you kind of getting quiet and realizing that your guides and angels are always with you. They are. They're always with you. And when you get quiet, it is in the quietness that you can get answers. Now, I had somebody come to me this week who was saying, Loretta, how do I connect with my guides and angels? How do I do it? And I'm here to tell you that the very first thing you have to do is raise your vibrational rate. Because if you're in a state of anger or sadness or fear, you may listen to the voices of your own fear rather than the higher voices from guides and angels. And so raising the vibration is really easy. You can exhale, you can breathe in, you can imagine the sun shining on you. You can try to put yourself into a space where, I don't know if you've ever been to the beach. I love the beach. I love the way it smells. I love the water. I love the weather of it, the sun shining. But if you imagine yourself someplace that you love to be, and you immerse yourself in that even for a moment, I think the heart math people tell us 17 seconds, you will begin to change your energy field, your vibration, and your point of attraction. And when you allow yourself to raise your vibration, the truth is that your psycho-immuno-neurological system, that's your midbrain, that's your mind-body, does not know the difference between you actually being in that beautiful place, enjoying it, and imagining that you're there. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you spend a few moments in meditation or in immersion into a beautiful memory, your midbrain begins to secrete, its natural feel-good substances, like serotonin and dopamine and oxytocin that's produced in the midbrain, and it will release it into your system. And when it does that, it lifts you up. It raises your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you are in a much better state to ask your guides and angels, your higher self, your inner wisdom, call it what you will, a question, and you will receive an answer, which is quite often a quiet answer. People are often very startled that really anybody can do this. And, I do teach a psychic spiritual development class on Tuesday evenings. And in that class, I do facilitate it for people. So sometimes it's a little easier for you to do it in a setting like that that's really dedicated to helping you raise your vibration. But you really can do it on your own, where you quiet yourself, you think up, you surround yourself with beautiful white light, and you ask a question, and you wait for the answer. Now, some people will hear an answer, some people won't. Some people, within about a 24-hour period of time, will actually get a sign or a symbol. And always remember to ask your guides and angels, like, give me a sign. Am I going in the right direction? Am I doing it correctly? And the truth is they always answer because they have to. But the other part of that is that you may not like the answer. And if you don't like the answer, I'm sorry about that, but sometimes that just happens. So we're going to take a little break. And like I say, we do have the lines open. This is a great time to call in with a question for your angels. So Loretta Brown, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Loretta Brown Show, and I'm the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. And we do have the lines open if you want to call in. The number's 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. If your hands are sweaty and you're...
That was funny from last week. I literally thought
Freddie.
You were channeling Eminem.
I was.
It hit me. I'm like, I had to go back and look, and you were almost dead on.
I didn't know till you said it, and you were right. That's right. But if you do feel a little breathless, or you're like, oh, maybe I should call that number and get an angel message, and then you're hesitating, I really mean it. It's you. Just call in. Anytime that anybody asks a question, it actually helps everybody. So I know you're out there. It's the first full week of work. It's rainy and drippy, and your energy might be low, but call in. We'll even shoot you a little bit of Shakti, a little bit of energy while you call. So the number again, 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. While you're dialing, I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I think is really important. It's a little bit of a heavy discussion for the morning, but if you're in your morning commute and you're in the car, maybe it's time for you to hear this. Years ago, I have a degree in psychology, and I studied the dreaded Karpman drama triangle. And you know how you study things and then you kind of forget about them, and later on they really come back. And in the last couple of months, my guides have really been bringing the dreaded drama triangle into my focus, into my awareness, in rather unexpected ways from unexpected people. And I sat down with it, and I have decided that it is really so important that I'm not only sharing it with my clients, but I'm sharing it with all of you, my listening audience this morning. The dreaded drama triangle, and you can Google this, is a three-pointed triangle that is made up of the victim, the rescuer, and the perpetrator. Now, this is one of the biggest energy-stealing triangles or techniques that people use, and it's the most common strategy that human beings use to manage their fear and anxiety. Now, it's called the dreaded drama triangle, but I got to be honest with you, I call it the victim mentality. We are riddled with this idea that we are powerless, that we're victims, that there's nothing we can do, or that the little bit that we do doesn't matter, so why bother? And you're going to find that as I talk about this, it plays out in all areas of your life. So the way that this works, in my explanation, and Dr. Stephen Karpman may explain this better than I do, but somebody is victimized, and they're truly victimized. Like, this actually happens to them. They don't make it up. And if you think to yourself, well, have I ever been a victim? You're probably going to answer yes to the question. Sometimes the victimization is serious. It's abusive. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes it's psychological. Sometimes it happened when we were children. And the point being that once you become a victim, you begin to play that story over and over again inside you, and you start to send out a little signal. It's an energetic signal, like beep, a beep, 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 a beep, beep, and it will attract in a rescuer. Now, the rescuer is usually, a big-hearted, caring person, and they come in for all of the right reasons. They come in to help the victim. And at first, this is a beautiful, beautiful relationship because the victim really does need help, and the rescuer apparently has the answers or the compassion or the energy to help. But after a while, this starts to break down because the rescuer will come in and rightly or wrongly say to the victim, hey, listen, if you just did X, Y, and Z, like if you go get a job, that'd take care of your problem. And the victim will say, but you don't understand. I can't get a job, right? Nobody will hire me. And the rescuer will come in and say, well, let me help you with your resume or something like that. And what really is going on here is that the rescuer has a need to rescue, and the victim does not actually want to change. They're gaining something from being a victim. Now, don't beat yourself up if you're a victim. And believe me, I'm oversimplifying this entire conversation. But at some point, the victim will turn on the rescuer, and they will victimize the rescuer, and they'll say, go away, or they'll yell at them. There'll be a fight. Now, at that point, the victim is becoming a persecutor. The rescuer is becoming a victim. And the reason that the victim turns on the rescuer is because they cannot or will not stand up to their original persecutor, who may have been a parent that has passed on, might be events of life, might be God, might be their job, and they can't stand up to them, don't know how to stand up to them, and they're being driven by anger to go after the rescuer. Now, interestingly enough, the rescuer may decide that they want to back out of this triangle, and if they try to exit, the victim will use the blame, shame, or guilt game to get them to come back in, which quite often works. This triangle, the dreaded drama triangle, we've all played all three roles. We've all been victim, we've all been rescuer, and we've all been persecutor or victimizer. I'm going to take a few callers, and after I do that, I'm going to give you the solution of how to get out of the dreaded drama triangle. So let's go ahead. I think we've got some callers. Yay.
Yeah, and if you'd like to join us again, the number is 888-298-5569, 888-298-5569, which conveniently spells out KKNW for those that aren't looking so close at their phones, which is good because you shouldn't be while you're driving. Anyways, Cindy from Ormond, Florida. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Hi,
Loretta.
Cindy. Wow, you're in Florida.
I know. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot. Wow.
Well, it's a lot warmer here than it is in Kentucky. I can tell you that.
Is that right? It's probably
Oh.
better than Seattle. It's so good to hear from you. So what can I do for you?
Well, I was walking the dogs. I've got Charlie, who's a big 15-year-old yellow lab,
Yeah.
and he and I just had a little session of sorts.
Yeah.
And then I've got McSweetie Sweets. You're familiar with McSweetie.
McSweetie.
She has her own Facebook fan page. And we're just walking, and all of a sudden, Loretta Brown show popped into my mind.
Ah.
And I thought, what? I didn't even know it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Because, moving and so forth,
Yeah.
losing track of time. But
yeah.
I just love you, and I thought I'd call, see if
Thank you.
you were on the air, and lo and behold, here I am.
Yeah, and by the way, I have a message for you. Apparently about your plant. You have a plant.
Yes,
With
I have
face.
a plant.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about this plant.
Well, this plant, originally, I forgot her name that she gave to Jennifer, and then it became Gooch. And so it's been known as Gooch for a while. And we decided to take it with me to Ormond Beach, and she was in the back, or he was in the back of the little tiny U-Haul trailer that I brought with me. And we discovered it and took it out, put it on the countertop, and then it was Tony Marie that saw the space. And a lot of this spiritual stuff is not new to her, but seeing a face in a plant certainly is. So she's like, shut up.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump in there for a moment.
Go ahead.
And for people listening, I know this sounds funny because people can make jokes like, oh, yeah, you saw Mother Mary in a piece of toast, right? Whatever the deal it is. But the truth is that our guides and angels do speak to us through signs and symbols, and they quite often will use rather odd ways to get our attention. And so if you're out and about and you look up at the sky and you say, wow, that cloud looks like an angel, right? It doesn't necessarily mean the cloud is an angel, but it definitely is a message, and it will make you think about angels. Yeah.
Right.
And if you're out driving around and all of a sudden, you see a shadow and you think the shadow shining on the leaves looks like, wow, that looks like my mother, right? I wonder if it is my mother. Doesn't necessarily have to be your mother, but it might be a message from your mother. So for the listening audience, you have a plant, and in that plant is an obvious face, face. And the question becomes, who or what is the face, or who or what is the message? And so your guides are just telling me to jump in there a little bit and tell you, number one, honor and trust your intuitive knowings, right? Because you are tapped in and turned on. You are obviously moved to a new location because now is the time for you to restructure and create something a little bit different. And many, many people are going through that right now with Saturn in Capricorn, where they are moving, coming in and out of relationships, living and dying, having health healing and not health healing. Like, this is a big time of restructuring. So your guides want you to know that this face, you may call it Hermes Trismegistus, if you want, because it represents a divine creative energy. And what I love is this is a masculine face coming out of a plant. And not that the plant is feminine, but that's what they're saying. And I never really thought about plants being masculine or feminine. But we're in a time of great creation. And the masculine energy, this strong knowledge energy, right? I was talking to someone yesterday, and the guides are bringing this in. I was telling a little shortened, condensed Loretta Cliff Notes version of Brahma creating the universe out of, he's the desireless desire created from the void chaos. He's a guy, he made a mess. Sorry about that. Women can make messes too. But he created chaos, and he looked at it and he said, oh my goodness, how can I do anything with this? And from deep inside himself, Goddess said, with wisdom, and he opened his mouth, and Sarasvati flew out of his mouth and gave him Om. She gave him primordial sound. So we have primordial raw energy, the Shakti. We have primordial sound. And your guides are basically saying to you, look what you can create with the support of all that is around you. Because, see, this is a natural production from nature. So use it as a sign of support, a sign of love. And also, if you haven't read the works of Hermes Trismegistus, I would suggest that you get them and take a look at them. This is ancient information that sometimes is hard to digest as it's written, but they're saying trust your intuitive knowings about all of this and receive the blessing that is being given to you.
Aw.
Isn't that lovely?
Thank you.
They love you
That is
so
lovely.
much. They love you so much, honey. All right. And also,
Thank
your yellow lab, his back hips, just give him some little Reiki in those back hips, because he just needs a little bit of love. And they're happy dogs, happy hearts. And I just wish my name was Sweetie McSweets. Love and kisses to you, honey. We'll talk to you more later.
Thank you so much, Loretta.
Thanks
Have
for
a great
calling
show,
in.
And I'll be listening.
All right. Bye now.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy, for joining us. 888-298-5569 for the original Loretta Brown Show. She's on the air now, live and in person, of course. Living color, all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'm in person.
And we can also check you out online on the stream at 1150kknw.com.
That's right.
Watch or listen. And that's piggybacked onto YouTube. So
Yay!
that's
YouTube.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta love it. So Heather from Kirkland is our next guest, or listener, I should say. So Heather, welcome to the show.
Hi, Heather. Good morning.
Hi, thanks so much for taking my call.
I'm glad you called in. I was beginning to think everybody was sleeping.
Well, I've never called in before, and I've only listened a few times, so I don't know. I don't know why I'm calling.
I'm glad you called.
You were talking about the drama thing.
Yes.
This whatever drama triangle.
Yeah.
I'm recently getting out of a marriage. And when you were talking about the drama triangle, I'm like, it's exactly, we did this, my husband and I both did the victim, the perpetrator, the rescuer, all of it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. I mean, it worked for a while, like you said, but it does not work long term.
I'm so glad you called in, because this dreaded drama triangle is a trap. It keeps so many people in unhealthy relationships. And the other thing I'm going to say, and this is coming from your angels, at the time that you called in the rescuer, right, you really needed a little bit of stabilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we do go through a period of time, like I say, where this can benefit us. And it just simply gets to the point where it no longer works. Because the ultimate energy behind the drama triangle is powerlessness. Like I'm caught. And, indicators that you're being sucked into this, because if you've ever played the drama game and then you realize you're playing the drama game, which you are now, you will find yourself being sucked back into it going, oh, I'm back in that drama triangle. How'd I do that? Right? Like, I really don't want to be here. And some of the indicators, one of the biggest indicators is walking on eggshells. If you're in a relationship or in a situation where you're holding yourself back, you're shutting your truth down, your tummy is like, oh my God, I just let me kind of hold my breath here because I don't quite know what's going to be happening next. You can pretty well be assured that you're being victimized. And even if it doesn't look like it, you are, because you're starting to feel powerless and afraid, right? And those emotions right now there, if you feel powerless and you feel afraid, you're leaking power. And you have forgotten that you are powerful. You know, I'm going to give the key ingredient to how to get out of it while I'm talking to you, because obviously Divine had you call in just so we could do that. The way out of the drama triangle is to remember you are a creator. And you literally say, wait a minute, I'm not a victim. I am a creator. That alone gives me goosebumps because the guides and angels love what I'm saying so much. I am a creator. And then the next question is, what outcome do I want? What outcome do I want? Now, people are going to argue with me and say, but Loretta, listen, I'm not in control of it. Believe me. You know, all that politics, I got no control of it. My family, let me tell you about my mother-in-law, right? And let me tell you about my kids. Let me tell you about my man, right? And I'm here to tell you that, wait a minute. You are a very powerful co-creator. You're not the creator. Thank God you're not God. You don't have that responsibility. But you were created in the image of a creator to ask questions. And even if all you do, if the only thing you can do is spend this little time with me, kind of evaluating, wait a minute, I've been playing a victim. I've been playing a rescuer. I've been playing a persecutor. How's that working for me? That alone shifts the energy from being powerless to moving into your power, you see?
Yeah.
And that, anything at all, begins to build the energy toward being freed from the dreaded drama triangle. Now, the other things for people to watch out for, and thank you, Heather, I'm going to keep you on the phone for a little bit. The other thing for people to watch out for is the shame, blame, or guilt game, which is how you get sucked into that drama triangle if you're trying to get out. And if you've been playing the game with someone and you say, no, wait a minute, I'm not a victim, rescuer, or perpetrator, I'm actually a creator, they may go, wait, where do you think you're going? You need to come back and attend to me. You know, either I need you here so I can use you as my whipping post, right? Or I'm a victim. How could you possibly think I'm okay over here? You know, because here's my tragic story. And believe me, listeners, I'm not minimizing people's tragic stories. They really are tragic. But that shame, blame, or guilt game will be a very seducing energy that will try to pull you back in. And this is where you really get to do the work. And in this new triangle, instead of needing a rescuer, sometimes a creator needs a coach. And the coach, it could be someone like myself or someone who has the ability to give you unbiased help from the perspective of recognizing that you have within yourself the Christ light and the Buddha light. You have all the tools that you need to actually live this life as the creator that you know yourself to be at a deep level. Sometimes we need to lean on someone. The best part about a coach instead of a rescuer is that the coach sees this potential in you, and the coach believes in you, and the coach will not do it for you. And they'll say, okay, here's what you need to go do. And then you come back and the coach says, well, did you do it? And you either did it or you didn't. And there's no judgment. And the coach will just say, well, you know, if you want to swim better, you need to kick harder, right? And I'm not going to get in the pool and do it for you, right? You see the difference there. A rescuer has boundary issues and has a tendency to go in too far. And all of us little empathy girls like yourself, Heather, we go in too far. We serve up too much. And then we don't understand why none of it is appreciated. And the love is not coming back to us the way that we actually deserve. So pulling yourself back in and going, oh my gosh, I'm trying to rescue, means that you're perceiving the other as a victim or powerless. That person is also a creator. And whether they like it or not, they've created their own mess, or they're contributing to the creation. Now, the third part of the triangle, and thanks for hanging on so long, is that instead of a persecutor, there is a challenger. Now, I can look at the events of life and what people do to me as, you know, horrible, horrible things that I have no power over, or I can say, wow, that's a challenge. The universe challenged me now. You know, the universe gave me a toothpick and said, hey, build a house, right? And like I say, at that point, the challenger simply brings you back to square number one, which is, I am not a victim. I am a creator. What outcome do I want? What outcome do I want? And your outcome might be something like, I just want to be peaceful. I want to be loved, right? Enough.
So funny. Because I've said it. So I'm like, I just want a more peaceful life. That's all.
Yeah. And isn't that it? Like, it doesn't have to be, you know, all of this stuff. So, so blessings. So you're doing everything right. Your guides love you very, very much. They want you to know that you're very, very safe. You're in the arms of the angels. You can lean back just a little bit. And also remember that you don't have to be a perfect creator all at once. You know, it takes a while to change the flow of energy. And you've been invested in this drama triangle quite a while. And so it'll just take some restructuring, some conscious choices. And then you're going to remember, you know, from your guides and angels, you are a creator, Heather. You're a creator. What outcome do you want? And what baby steps can you do to begin to make it happen? Now, I'm here to tell you, I think you're taking giant steps. Congratulations on that. And don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Life is a beautiful, beautiful challenge at every step. And you have every gift, every ability, and all the love of the angels to help you move through it. Does that help you? That was a long answer.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Be blessed. They love you
so
very,
much.
very
Have a great
much.
Day.
You too. Yeah. And for those of you listening, I'm just going to reiterate that what I've talked about this morning is how to make shifts happen, how to move from the dreaded drama triangle that was just, you know, developed by Dr. Stephen Karpman in the late 1960s. This triangle that uses the roles of victim, rescuer, and persecutor, realizing that at some point in your life, you have played all of these roles. All three of those roles have their roots in the problem orientation and focusing on what you don't want or you don't like. And each role also sees the others as problems to react to. So in other words, you do not want to be a victim. I know you don't. You do not want to be a rescuer. I know you don't, because that costs too much. You start to take on other people's stuff and they don't appreciate it. And you do not want to be a perpetrator, because a perpetrator always comes from anger. And they're always getting angry and they're blaming everybody else. And, oh, it's these people and those people. And the perpetrator often becomes a bully. So if you know a bully in your life, here's something to remember. That perpetrator is always coming from a place of being victimized somewhere along the route. And they made some agreement with themselves that they were never going to let that happen again. And so they're going to go get everybody before everybody gets them. That is a victim mentality. Bullies, anger all the time, walking on eggshells, the shame, blame, or guilt game, needing to rescue. All of this is part of that dreaded drama triangle. The new triangle, the better triangle, is actually not created by me. It was created by a man named David Emerald, and it's called Emerald's TED Triangle, not TED Talks, but the Empowerment Dynamic Triangle. Emerald's TED Triangle. You can Google these. You can get more information online. And in the new triangle, we have a creator instead of a victim, a coach instead of a rescuer, and a challenger instead of a persecutor. This focuses on what you do want, and it focuses on making you a powerful, empowered creator. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Remember that the light of truth is shining on everybody. Oh boy, be careful with those fated attractions this weekend. Make sure you go into things with your eyes wide open. Love you all. Blessings to everyone. Talk to you next time.